pretty sizable compensation package. Yes, Kabam are giving us a big package. That sounds wrong in itself, but it's not so wrong when you see right here. I mean, get right to the point. We'll kind of cover some of the other stuff about this, but let's just kind of get to what Kabam are going to give out for free. Granted, and as it does say, all summoners who partook in Nightmare Raid, so whether you finished it or not, whether completed or not, will receive the following compensation package. 180 raid tickets. One of the biggest problems that players had with this was like the investment versus return. If you were struggling to actually get anything or get anywhere or do anything because it was either too difficult or there were things that were bugged and your alliance decided like not to kind of like participate any further, then you'll feel vindicated in that your investment is returned. You get one additional light essence, which is mega. Like this, what it does, it reduces the amount of time you have to farm for light essence, which we did you might have seen a video. If you haven't, then well, you know, support the content, because we cover these things that are important to you and matters when it comes to calculations of things. So for those that are interested in the light essence and the extent of grind, we calculated that it would be 4 months of raid chests that you would need to get in order to get Lumatrix. Now what this does is it actually reduces it down. It means that there's less, because you've got more light essence for less amount of alliance raids you have to do. Rather than you getting it by July for free, you could even get it by June for free, theoretically, but you had to do Nightmare Raids, and it also implies other things as well, like you have to participate in every Battlegrounds rank to get to like Battlegrounds season in order to get Victory Track. Sorry, get into Gladiator Circuit. That's what you'd have to do. So there was a caveat to these things in any case, but it's really important that you will get that. This is big. 1 Titan Crystal. A jackpot item in the final Nightmare chest. That's great. That's great to see. For those that, like myself and our alliance, many other alliances, if you did the exploration, you got 1 7-star crystal. That's been forwarded to those, of course, that weren't able to complete it. So those, because there is a thread out there, I don't know if you see it, we covered it, that if you aren't able to like complete or explore Nightmare Raids, what you are left without because you invested with no return and stuff like that. 5 mil gold, nice, okay. Yeah, this is all standard stuff that you get as part of the completion. 2 tier 6 class catalyst crystals, 1 tier 4 alpha. Like this is pretty nice. And 5,000 glory. Now, because we've already, like, our alliance has already done it, this is just like icing on the cake. Like to kind of like say, hey, you did it. Worthy revives, handy for it. Yeah. It's also a good, like, I'd say test for Kabam. Like, please run things past players, because this just didn't feel like it. I think there always needs to be like a beta of some description or something where there's just, I don't know, like not focus group, and it's not even QA, but it's kind of like unbiased player group, like an unbiased player group that Kabam like test things past, not people that are obviously going to suck up to Kabam or kind of like tell them what they want to hear, like echo chambering. Like just have people that will either like say it how it is, really, just say it how it is, and people that are not content creators. Like that's one of the big things that, like, nowadays, I think if you're people getting a job with Kabam, they kind of have been or are content creators, and I don't know if that's like is it the right time to go away from that? I don't know. Thoughts on that? I mean, it's a different matter for a different day to kind of discuss, but because at the end of the day, you kind of change your perspective, and a lot of the people that work for no. Oh, well, maybe that'll be another topic for another day. I don't want to go too much into a topic that I haven't research points on or have like drawn out like things that I can just say pros and cons. Anyway, going on to like what this is about. So we've talked about the rewards, seen the rewards, that's what we're getting. Great. Okay, so reading some of this stuff here. Over the past week, we spent a lot of time gathering feedback on Nightmare Raids from various sources. Nightmare Raids are supposed to be difficult. However, we also want them to be something that's fun, engaging, and overall less of a pain point than they currently are. Many people have said nodes, it's too nodey, and also I think a lot of us get that it's meant to be difficult, but there's a difference between something being difficult and something being bugged and having issues that affect people actually being able to like engage with it. That's the other thing. I think it's fair to say we missed the mark on the latter half of the goal during the first iteration. We have some plans to address that and create a smoother experience for the rerun in returning round 2. What is that, in mid-April? First things first, Nightmare Raids clearly didn't hit the standards we hold ourselves to, and we remain committed to hitting that mark. With that said, let's talk about compensation. And of course, we mentioned all summoners who partook, blah, 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 are receiving that. So it's great news. That is a great compensation package. But of course, you needed to participate in Nightmare Raids to get it. Now let's talk about how we're going to make this right for round 2. The next time you see Nightmare Raids, you can expect to see the following node changes. The removal of phase nodes. Good. Fight time is increased from 3 minutes to 5 minutes. That makes sense. And tuning adjustments for the crush penance on Apocalypse. So I guess that's good. Everything, as I say, with Kabam, when they make changes, it's like it's on paper. We always have to see how it plays out, because we don't know until it plays out, until it's actually been released. And most of the time, Kabam, I think, have like a 70%, well, I'm just throwing that out there, 70% kind of like, no, not even 70%. It'd be like a 60% success to 40% failure rate with stuff. Unfortunately, it seems like that's more of a 90-10 at the moment, but we'll have to see how they get on with things that got to improve. With the introduction of Nightmare Raids, we realized we added too much complexity. Yep. We still want to chase a higher level of difficulty for this content, but we understand it's currently not the type of difficulty. With that, we'll be removing phase nodes for upcoming Nightmare Raids, as we're still aiming for the pinnacle of difficult AQ content. We'll be targeting an increased defender HP as a safer way to do this. Yeah, I mean, that's a good enough compromise. Coupled with the longer fight time, summoners will be met with less complex fights, alongside an avenue of ramp their attacker to deal satisfying damage. Finally, we've heard many say that the crush passive on Apocalypse was too warping to deal with. We'll be addressing this by lowering the difficulty of the penance, likely reducing its duration, but we might move in a different direction after further testing. There's also reduced Korg's Thorns damage even further. Yeah, because I thought it was like completely removed, but kabam, innit? Remove Jabari Panther's Cleanse. That's somewhat helpful. The difficulty I had was that for Vanguard, there's not many like rank 3 7 stars that I was like, this is the go-to champion for this. So I found myself like using Silk, and still great champion, but I was like, we're going science versus skill for this, and Silk versus, and she like hard smashes through, but it's pretty darn annoying. Remove Apocalypse stun into block. That's annoying in any case, because you've got no chill. There's no chill in that fight. Just none. It's no secret that Korg was a major problem for the past week. Going forward, his thorns will be given a solid bump down from its current tuning to relieve chip damage, because that was offensive. Additionally, we found Jabari's Cleanse passive to interact poorly with too many of the roll boosts, and we feel like cutting it from her kit in the best avenue forward. Finally, Apocalypse stun into block is key RPG elements to the Defender's kit. We feel like it's providing an adequate challenge in raids, but just like Jabari's Cleanse, it's interfering with too many of the boosts that require you to block. Yeah, that's the other thing. Your playstyle is just completely yanked and not even jacked. It's like it's just destroyed with how you want to like counter a fight. Oh, I'll take it in a block to build it. No, I can't do that. Oh, well, I'll do this attack because this will build. No, you can. It's like you're just blocked. You're blocked in general, like blocked in all four corners. You want to ensure your players still have control over maximizing their boosts and damage, and we will be looking into more of the future updates as necessary. Along with these changes, we'll see we address some bugs reduction of raid boss size back to normal because it's big. Korg is becoming stun immune. Yep. Certain roll boosts failing to provide raid further. Yeah, you can't do anything. Seeing a giant XXL defender in front of you was always been a visual aspect of fighting Alliance raids. However, we believe this to be a primary culprit of missed dexterity timings and whiffing attacks. Yeah, a lot of people seeing that. Massive amounts. It just ruins the animation. This was particularly a pain point against Weapon X and Korg when you needed to dodge their attacks and punish their specials. We'll be shooting all raid bosses with pin particles to shrink them back to normal. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Like, that sounds good. If that was becoming an issue with that dex issue and whiffing, then hell yeah, deal with it. As for Korg, he seems to be going stun immune game-wide, not only in Alliance raids. This is going to need further investigation, but we have to find the root cause of why it's happening. And by the way, would you put him on Battlegrounds defense and Alliance Wars defense now, knowing that that's the case? There have also been instances where it seems raid further gain is being lowered too much and not coming back up. We'll be doing a full pass on every roll boost. Yeah, this is bad then if this has been going on for a while. We'll also be making some adjustments to how raid force works with the intent to help dot champs shine more in raids. With the next, we'll be increasing the damage boost to linger for 0.5 seconds for each hit, blah, 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 blah. We're watching this one, blah, blah, blah. Finally, we're adding champion swap node after the first boss of each path. That's cool, because one thing that I found is if it's a new meta and you're like, this isn't working, but I kind of thought this would work because it's my highest ranked champion, then having that option to swap champions is really good. So that's a really nice added touch and improvement. We've heard from summoners who feel that raid punishes them but if they choose the wrong attacker. While the swap node will not allow you to change your roll boost, you'll be able to swap out your champion to an attacker you feel might synergize stronger with the select boost. These champion swap nodes will be gated via roll the same way that boost selector paths will only be present in Nightmare Raids. Right, there's a lot of stuff to read. And yeah, in upcoming raid weeks, we'll be targeting a few quality of life improvements, changes aiming address feedback the players before and during the fight. This will come to the form of a new node for any boss with a kit change, like Korg Purify being removed. Called out in the nodes of the fight. And then a final thing we'll be creating a testing map to allow summoners to experiment with chat. That's good. That's even better. People have wanted to have an experimentation area. We don't expect this to be out within the next few cycles of raids, but we are committed to allowing summoners ensure we're aiming themselves with the best roll boosts. Yeah, it's prepping. I think that's the other thing. You can put out an infographic with this champion is good against this roll boost, but it's very different to actually either you don't know how to play the champion yet, or you don't know how it will kind of like play out. So having that experimentation is so important for players. And also know who you're going to rank up. Nightmare Raids is a high investment, and if you fail, you're screwed. So you need that kind of like element of prep. Again, we know our players were not happy with the round 1 in Nightmare Raids, and we apologise for missed the mark. We're committed to providing fun and engaging experience to each summoner in the battle realm, and confident we'll be able to provide the experience. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, all good. Looks like a positive improvement. Lots of things there that nodders I agree with, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to the future of it. All well and good. It's on paper. We need to see it in action. So we'll see how Alliance Raids goes from this point here to how the end of the year with it. But what are your thoughts on it? Have your say as always in the comments. Check out some other content located on screen right now, and I'll see you all in the next video. And bye bye everybody. Cheers and bye.